At 6:19, the car is already in the driveway, but some part of the day is still behind the wheel. The store is closed now. The lights are off. The register drawer has been counted, the last question answered, the last small problem held steady long enough for someone else to go home. And after the appointment, after traffic, after keeping your voice even when your body wanted quiet, you sit for one extra minute at the edge of the house. One light is still on. Not bright enough to demand anything. Just enough to say the door is there, the evening is there, and you do not have to enter all at once. A bent grocery receipt rests near the cup holder. It has been folded once, maybe twice, without thought. A small record of milk, bread, bananas, something needed, something remembered. Your shoes come off slowly. One heel first. Then the other. There is no ceremony in it. Only the soft release of feet that carried more than anyone saw. Household sound fades somewhere beyond the windshield, and for this second, nothing has to be solved. The porch light stays where it is, and the evening gives back a little space. For a while, the car keeps the shape of the day around you. The seat holds the heat from the drive. The steering wheel is still a little warm under your hands, even though you are no longer going anywhere. The engine is off, but there is a faint ticking under the hood, a small settling sound, as if the car is also trying to remember how to be still. Across the windshield, the porch light waits. It does not ask what happened today. It does not know about the appointment squeezed between responsibilities, or the way you checked the time too many times, or the feeling of walking back into the store already tired and still needing to be steady. It does not know how many little answers you gave, how many decisions you made quickly, how many times you kept your face calm because that was part of the job. Assistant manager. Closing the store. Being the one people look toward when something needs a steady voice. Some titles sound simple until the day is long. There were customers who came in near the end, not meaning any harm, carrying their own hurry. There was a question about a return, a drawer that needed counting, a shelf that looked wrong, a schedule change someone brought up when your mind was already leaning toward home. Maybe none of it was dramatic. Maybe that was the hard part. It was only one ordinary thing after another, each one small enough to be handled, each one leaving a little weight behind. Now the driveway is quiet in a way the store never is. No overhead music. No receipt printer cutting the air. No radio clipped to someone's belt. No one saying your name from the end of an aisle. Only the house somewhere ahead of you. Only one light left on. Your shoes rest loose on the floor mat now, not fully placed anywhere, not lined up, not taken inside. One has tipped slightly toward the brake pedal. The other sits near a wrapper you forgot to throw away. It is such a small mess, the kind no one would notice unless they were sitting exactly where you are sitting. The bent grocery receipt is still near the cup holder. It has the tired look of something handled without being seen. A thin strip of paper, creased at the middle, curled at one end. Maybe it came from a quick stop on the way home. Maybe it had been in your pocket since earlier, pressed beside your keys, softened by the heat of your hand. Milk. Eggs. Paper towels. A few things that make a house keep going. There is something tender about a receipt after a long day. Not because it is beautiful. Because it proves somebody remembered. Somebody walked under the store lights and picked up what was needed. Somebody paid attention to the ordinary list. Somebody carried the small continuations of life from one place to another, even while tired. And now that little paper sits in the car with you, bent and quiet, not asking to be organized, not asking to be understood. The household sound behind the windshield comes and goes. A muffled voice. A cabinet closing. Maybe the soft thud of someone moving through a room. These sounds usually mean you are home. Tonight they reach you from a slight distance, as if the driveway has become a narrow shore between the person you had to be all day and the person you are trying to return to now. Your feet feel different without the shoes. A little sore. A little exposed. The air touches the places that were closed in for hours. You move your toes once, slowly, and the day does not disappear, but it loosens at the edges. That is enough for this minute. Nothing has to be answered from the car. Nothing has to be carried perfectly through the front door. The appointment, the store, the traffic, the questions, the small private worries that did not show on your face, all of them can sit where they are for one breath longer. The porch light stays on. The receipt stays bent. And inside the parked car, at the edge of the driveway, you begin to come back without making a sound. The first minutes after arriving home can feel strangely private. Not private in any dramatic way. No one has turned away from you. No one has taken anything from you. It is only that the day has asked for a version of you that could keep moving, and now, in the parked car, that version has nowhere else to go. So it sits there too. It sits beside the grocery receipt, beside the shoes on the floor mat, beside the faint outline of the steering wheel in the dimming light. It sits with the quiet knowledge that you made it through the closing tasks, through the appointment, through the drive home, through the last stretch of road where traffic finally began to leave your body. The house is close enough to touch, but not yet close enough to enter. Maybe a window has a small square of yellow in it. Maybe the porch light makes a pale circle on the step. Maybe there is a shadow moving once behind the curtain, then gone. The life inside the house continues in small pieces, the way it always does. A faucet turns on. A drawer slides open. A floorboard gives a little under someone's weight. These sounds are familiar. That is what makes them gentle. Still, there is a thin pause before you join them. A quiet space where no one has asked you yet what needs to happen next. No one has placed a question in your hands. No one has needed you to remember where something is, or decide what can wait, or answer with the steady voice you used all day. For this small stretch of evening, you are not late. You are not behind. You are not proving anything by getting out of the car quickly. The bent receipt holds its place near the cup holder. It has become the nearest thing in the world, maybe because it asks the least. A receipt does not need a full explanation. It does not need you to be cheerful. It does not need the day to make sense before it can exist. It only lies there, creased and ordinary. There may be a total printed at the bottom. A date. A store number. Little rows of items that tell the story of care in the plainest possible language. Not grand care. Not care that announces itself. The care of remembering that the milk was low. The care of picking up something for tomorrow. The care of holding the list in your mind even when your own mind wanted to be empty for a while. A person can be tired and still be caring. That is not a slogan. It is more like the receipt itself, thin and factual, easy to overlook. Your socks brush against the floor mat. The air in the car has cooled a little. You lean back, and the seat receives the weight you did not know you were still holding in your shoulders. The appointment is no longer happening. The store is no longer open. The traffic is no longer surrounding you. But the body takes longer to believe what the clock already knows. So the body waits. It waits with the porch light. It waits with the shoes. It waits with the small sounds of home arriving through the windshield, softened by glass and distance. And maybe relief does not come as a big feeling. Maybe it comes as the absence of the next demand. A few seconds where nothing reaches for you. A few seconds where the evening does not need your answer. The front door is still there. The house is still there. And you are allowed to return slowly, one quiet part at a time. Inside the car, the evening begins to lower its voice. The sky has not gone fully dark yet, but it has stepped back from the day. The windshield holds the last soft color of it, mixed with the reflection of the porch light and the faint outline of your own hands resting in your lap. Hands that opened the store door, handled keys, lifted boxes, checked labels, signed something at the appointment desk, held the steering wheel through the slow road home. Now they do not have to hold anything. For a moment, that feels unfamiliar. All day, your hands had a place to go. A task to meet. A small problem to answer. Even when you were tired, there was always another motion waiting. Take this. Fix that. Count this. Carry that. Smile here. Listen there. Move quickly, but do not look hurried. Stay steady, even when the inside of you has already sat down somewhere far away. The body learns that rhythm. Then the body needs time to unlearn it. So you sit with your shoes off and your feet low against the mat, and the quiet is not empty. It is full of small endings. The end of the appointment. The end of the shift. The end of the drive. The end of being watched by customers and coworkers and clocks. The end of holding your face in the shape the day required. Not everything is finished. But something is over. That is enough to feel. The receipt shifts slightly when you move your knee. It makes a faint paper sound, almost nothing. Still, it catches your attention again. That bent little strip has followed you here without asking for space. It is not important in the usual way. It is not a photograph, not a letter, not something saved on purpose. It is only proof of an errand. Only a thin record of ordinary need. But tonight, ordinary need feels closer than any large thought. The receipt says there was bread to buy, or soap, or something for tomorrow morning before anyone has fully woken up. It says the day was not only made of work and appointments and traffic. It was also made of small remembering. Small providing. Small attempts to keep life from coming apart at the corners. You may not feel proud of that. You may barely notice it. But the receipt is there anyway, bent into a shape made by your own tired hand. The porch light shines through the windshield without moving. It does not brighten the whole driveway. It only gathers a small circle near the door, enough for steps, enough for finding the lock, enough for not entering the dark completely. That kind of light can feel merciful. Not saving you. Not changing the day. Only waiting. And maybe that is where the relief begins to arrive, not as happiness, not as a clean answer, but as the smallest permission to stop managing every feeling. The evening does not need you to become peaceful before it can receive you. The house does not need the whole story. The shoes do not need to be picked up yet. The receipt does not need to be smoothed flat. For now, things can remain as they are. A car in the driveway. A body still catching up. A porch light ahead. A bent receipt holding the plain evidence of care. And you, sitting between what the day asked of you and what the evening is slowly giving back. The pause becomes wider when you stop trying to name it. At first, it had been only a delay before going inside. A minute in the car. A small space between the driveway and the door. But now the minute has stretched just enough for the day to loosen its grip. Not disappear. Not become gentle all at once. Only loosen. There is a difference. Your breathing notices it before your thoughts do. It drops lower in your chest. Your shoulders let go by a fraction. The muscles around your eyes soften, the way they sometimes do when no one is looking at your face anymore. All day, your face had been part of the work. You used it to reassure people. You used it to keep things calm. You used it in the appointment room, where you may have answered questions carefully and listened for what mattered. You used it in traffic too, watching brake lights, reading lanes, staying alert even when the rest of you wanted to fade into silence. Now the windshield holds your reflection faintly. Not clearly enough to study. Just enough to show that you are here. The person looking back is not the assistant manager. Not the steady one. Not the one who had to know where the extra bags were, how to handle the late customer, what to say when someone else was frustrated. That person is still part of you, but in this car, at the edge of the driveway, the name on the roll begins to quiet. You are not performing arrival. You are only arriving. Inside the house, a sound rises and falls. Maybe a television is low in another room. Maybe someone laughs once, then the sound closes into the walls. Maybe there is the hollow knock of something placed on a counter. Life is going on without asking you to hold all of it at once. That can feel like kindness. The porch light remains steady through the glass. It has no opinion about how long you sit there. It does not become impatient. It does not measure whether you are grateful enough, calm enough, ready enough. It simply keeps the doorway visible. The bent receipt waits in the same small place. It may have slipped a little closer to the seat. A corner catches the last light from the dashboard. The paper looks worn now, not old, just handled. A small thing that went through the day with you and arrived in the same condition as the rest of you, creased, useful, still here. There is comfort in useful things resting. The receipt no longer has to prove the groceries were bought. The shoes no longer have to carry you across polished store floors. The car no longer has to move you through traffic. Even your hands, lying open now, no longer have to reach for the next task. For a little while, everything is allowed to stop being useful. Maybe that is what your body has been waiting for. Not a solution. Not a plan for the evening. Not a better way to handle tomorrow. Just this plain permission for the moment to remain unfinished. The appointment can remain what it was. The workday can remain long. The house can remain full of small sounds. The receipt can remain bent. And you can remain seated. A few more seconds pass. The driveway holds the car. The windshield holds the porch light. The evening holds the part of you that has not yet stepped inside. Nothing rushes it. Nothing has to be solved this second. And in that unclaimed space, relief comes quietly enough that it does not startle you. For a little while, the driveway becomes its own room. Not a room with walls, not a place anyone else would name that way, but a small held space between the street and the house. The car makes its quiet boundaries around you. The windshield in front. The seat beneath. The darkening windows on each side. The shoes on the floor mat, no longer doing what shoes are made to do. Outside, the day keeps moving without you. A car passes somewhere down the block. Its headlights slide across the windshield and are gone. A neighbor's garage door hums open, then closes with a low, familiar sound. The evening air presses softly against the glass. Nothing about it is special, and that is partly why it helps. You do not have to rise to meet it. You only sit inside it. The bent grocery receipt has stopped being a thing to throw away. It has become part of the pause. It lies near the cup holder with its small crease and faded ink, a little record of the life waiting beyond this minute. Not the whole life. Not the heavy parts. Just the plain details. Bread. Milk. Apples. Maybe dish soap. Maybe something bought without thinking because the house was running low. A life can be held together by such quiet things. Not perfectly. Just enough. And maybe no one notices how many of those small things pass through your hands. The bag brought in after work. The item remembered on the way home. The appointment made and kept. The shift closed. The question answered. The voice softened at the right time. The shoes worn until your feet ached. It is not that anyone is ungrateful. It is simply that ordinary care often disappears into the day it helps make possible. The receipt understands that in its own paper way. It does not glow. It does not explain. It does not ask to be framed or saved. It only carries evidence that something needed was remembered, even by someone who was tired. You look past it again toward the porch light. The light is still there, and the steadiness of it begins to feel less like waiting and more like welcome. Not a loud welcome. Not the kind that calls your name from the doorway. Just a small brightness left on against the coming dark, enough to make the house visible, enough to soften the step between outside and in. There are evenings when that is all a person can receive. A little visibility. A little softened edge. A little space before speaking. Inside, household sound rises again, then fades. The house is not silent. It is not arranged for your rest like a picture. There may be dishes in the sink, mail on the counter, a towel left somewhere it does not belong. There may be a question waiting. There may be a small need, an ordinary need, one that will find you soon enough. But not yet. That not yet becomes tender. It gathers around your shoulders like a loose sweater. It lets the appointment stay in the past for a few minutes. It lets the store remain closed. It lets traffic finish leaving your body. It lets your feet rest without needing to become useful again. And in the quiet, you may feel a small gratitude that does not announce itself as gratitude. It is only relief. Relief that the porch light is on. Relief that the receipt can stay bent. Relief that nothing has to be solved this second. Relief that your own life is still here, waiting without rushing you back into it. You breathe once. Then again. The car holds still. The evening gives back a little more space. By now, the evening has thinned into something quieter. The driveway is not dark yet, but the colors have drained from the edges of things. The mailbox is only a shape near the curb. The bushes near the front walk have gone soft. The porch light has become clearer as everything around it lowers. That is how some relief arrives. Not by getting larger. By becoming the only thing left bright enough to notice. You are still in the car, though it has been long enough now that the silence feels less like hesitation and more like a kind of resting place. The seat no longer feels like part of the commute. The dashboard no longer feels like part of traffic. Even the windshield, which spent the last half hour holding brake lights and lane changes, now holds only the quiet front of the house. The world has narrowed. In a good way. There is the receipt. There are the shoes. There is the light. There is your breath, coming back from wherever it had been held all day. The appointment sits somewhere behind you now. Not gone, maybe not simple, but farther away than it was when you first pulled in. The store is behind you too, with its locked doors and straightened shelves and the small tired mercy of knowing the closing shift is finished. Tomorrow may bring its own questions. Tomorrow may have schedules, calls, errands, another careful face. But this is not tomorrow. This is 6:19 becoming evening. This is your hand resting open near the seat, no keys turned, no pen held, no phone answered. This is your foot free from the shoe, with the sock gathered slightly at the heel. This is the body learning that no one in this exact second is asking it to hurry. The household sounds are softer now, maybe they were always soft, but you can hear them differently. A chair moving. A door closing gently. The low murmur of life inside a home that has its own small weather. These are not demands yet. They are only signs that the house is there, still breathing, still ordinary. You may go in soon. You probably will. You may gather the shoes, smooth the receipt without thinking, place it in a pocket or leave it where it is until morning. You may open the door and let the cool air move around your ankles. You may carry the day inside with you, not because you failed to set it down, but because some days come in slowly, attached to the body by small invisible threads. That is all right. A soft return does not happen all at once. Sometimes it begins before the front door opens. Sometimes it begins in the car, with the engine off and one light left on. Sometimes it begins when you stop asking yourself to be ready, and simply let yourself be near home. The receipt stays bent. It does not need to be made neat. And maybe you do not either. For once, the evening does not ask for a better version of you. It does not ask you to explain the tiredness, or organize the feeling, or turn relief into something useful. It only leaves a little space beside the porch light, beside the sound of the house, beside the shoes that have finally stopped carrying you. A space wide enough for one breath. Then another. And before you move, before the door opens, before your name is called or the next small thing begins, there is this quiet knowing. You have arrived, even if only part of you is home so far. When you finally reach for the door handle, the movement is small. Nothing in the driveway changes because of it. The porch light stays where it has been all along. The house keeps its low sounds behind the walls. The receipt remains bent near the cup holder, carrying its little list of ordinary things. Your shoes are still on the floor mat. You look at them for a moment before slipping them back on, not quickly, not with the old hurry. One foot, then the other. The body remembers how to rise, but it rises with a little more room around it now. Outside the car, the air feels cooler. The driveway receives your weight. The evening does not ask whether you are ready. It lets you stand there with the day still close, with the appointment still somewhere in your chest, with the store still fading from your hands. And maybe that is enough. Not to fix the tiredness. Not to make the day smaller than it was. Only to let one quiet second be true before the next thing begins. You close the car door softly. Through the windshield, the bent receipt stays behind for now, a small paper witness to the life you keep carrying in plain ways. Groceries, work, appointments, the road home, the shoes coming off, the light left on. You walk toward the porch. For this moment, nothing has to be solved. The door is there. The light is there. And you are returning to yourself slowly, with the evening giving back just enough space to enter.